bridge. Bridge was built. That reminds me of a bridge. Hi there. How are you? I am going to tell you a story about a bridge. I would like you to imagine where we lived, up on a little hill, and there was a slope, and there was a river running through the slope, and then you had to climb the slope and get into the road, and on that road we could take the bus and go to school. And so what they had done, people who lived on this side of the river, of the little stream, had put two planks on it. And the two planks were simply held together by rocks, and we children, when we went to school, we crossed it like that, and we went to school. But sometimes, you know, in Malaysia, it's a tropical country, it will rain. And when it rains, what happens? The plank is wet, we would slip and fall down. People will bring their bicycles and they will try and cross the little river, and they'll fall into the river. It wasn't a very big river, it was a tiny little river, about 4 feet across and about 2 feet deep. And this was going on so many times. We'd get our shoes dirty. Our schoolmaster would not be very happy with us. And one day I came back and told my mother, Amma, I went to school and the teacher scolded me. That's how I call my mother, Amma. Amma, the teacher scolded me because my shoes were dirty. And mother said, why were your shoes dirty? I slipped on the way over the little planks. And she turned to my father and she said, his shoes are getting dirty, could you help us do something about it? And so what my father did was, that evening, it was a Friday evening, I think it was, he called all the neighbors, and they had a little meeting outside our house in the darkness. The moon was shining. My father sat there, he gave some chairs, and all the other neighbors came and sat there, all men and some women. And my father said, I think we have to do something about the bridge. And our neighbor said, yes, that's true. We will have to do something about it. So my father said, do you think we can build a bridge? And somebody said, no, it's too deep. The river is too deep. You know, we need a big bridge. It's got to be very long. We don't have enough planks. And we've got to put the pillars, you know, it's going to be very difficult. So my father sat there and thought about it. He brought out a piece of paper. He drew the valley and he put a line across and said, this is the bridge and this is how we're going to do it. Tomorrow, can all of you come and see and meet us down there at the slope at about 9 in the morning after breakfast? And everybody agreed. So the next day, about 10 or 15 of our neighbors turned up. You know, they all wore dhotis, and they pulled the dhotis and they tied it to their waist and they waded into the river. My father stood there on the bank giving directions, cut that earth and put this here, make some embankment. This little valley must now be converted into a little square like this, okay? Put all the earth there and make a bund. A bund is a kind of a place where you put some bund like this, you put some planks on it. Then my father made someone do like a raft, and then he got them to do 4 strong pillars which were hit into the soft earth with mallets, and 2 men did it. And when the mallets were ready, they put pieces of wood across, and they put planks. Bicycles could go, 2-3 bicycles could go against each other without any problems. And it was very late in the evening by the time we finished. During break at about 10 in the morning, my mother and some of our friends and the neighbors brought some banana fritters, some fruits, some coffee, some tea. Some people brought biscuits. And when lunch came, we all got together, and all our mothers got together. We helped our mothers cook the food, and we helped to give it to all the people who were working. Their hands were filthy with mud and earth and soil and water. And then they washed their hands, and we gave them food. They ate it, and they had a nice, lovely conversation. And then it went on into the night. They couldn't finish it. They had to nail all the pieces down. They had to flatten it. And then some people brought some kerosene lamps. And you know, when they put the kerosene lamps on the bridge, I was standing there. There was a reflection of the kerosene lamp in the water, which was moving. It was like a fire in the water. The red color of the lamp was shining on the little stream. It was beautiful, it was. And by the time they finished, they were all sweating. The moon had come up, and all the ladies again went and made some food. They put some firewood near the bridge. They burned the firewood, so there was a big flame, like a big campfire. Food was served, and all of us were invited to eat. It was like a big celebration. And the very next day, I couldn't wait to wake up to go and see the new bridge. And there it was, the little valley, and people could walk back and forth. And whenever it rained, there was no mud. I never slipped and fell. And for very many years, long after we had left that place, for about 20 years, the bridge was there. And I often told this story to my children of the bridge my father had built. I hope you enjoyed this story, and I'll see you again the next time with another story. Goodbye and good night.